It's a beautiful day.
All right, that was really weird. We'll do it this way. Did you guys hear that twice?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in the game. Oh, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? Sound about thunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the 80% mortality rate works for you, for a few bucks a month you can sign up and have the hogs kill you. So let's make the most of another Sunday. Brew up some coffee and play it my way. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my gamers? Won't you please, please won't you be my gamers?
All right, all right. Hey everybody, welcome to Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood. I am your game master tonight and host of the show. Tonight we're going to be playing Tales of Argosa. Man, I couldn't even get that out very well. Tales of Argosa, not Tales of Argosa. That's weird. Anyway, this is it. As you can see, draft copy. I've actually got a few updates, but I haven't put them into the old master printed off version yet. Tales of Argosa is second edition for, as everyone knows, of the Gamerhood, one of my favorite games, low fantasy gaming. This would be second edition, and we are going to be using the Midlands as a supplement for the setting. You can't have a game without players, so let's have our players introduce themselves, say a little bit about yourself, and maybe your character if you so desire. All right, Stu, go for it, man.
Yeah, I'm Stu. I'm playing Norsil, a magic user who is Nadician and was a rat catcher originally, and I feel like during character generation we established maybe he came across, some source of arcane power in his day job and decided to run with it.
Which further meant that he was going to leave Nadicia, as it is massively taboo by fear of death for those guys that don't like magic, known as the Ordo Malefactos. They don't have a religion. All they have is a philosophical order known as the Lucentum. Man, that was fast lookup. I just reached over my book straight to the page. You see that? Anyway, so he took off from Melek and headed north, and eventually met up with Robert.
Hey, I'm Robert. I'm playing Vicente, who is a how do you say it? Karakian? Would you say that?
That's what I say. Dal Karak is their area, and then I say either
Right.
Karakian or Karokian. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Whichever one we like better.
So he's a bard with a beekeeper background, which is kind of interesting, and plays panpipes, but not the typical looking ones that you might be familiar with. So the ones I looked up actually come from Viking culture, but it's like this little box with a bunch of drilled out holes of different lengths that produce the different notes for the panpipe. I just thought that looked a little bit better than the standard panpipe. And I don't know if there's anything else. Is there anything else I'm missing?
No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty good. We do have some information. Like Steve came in and commented on the last video to say the things that we missed. I also want to go on record as saying I actually read this from front to back. Oh, I didn't. I didn't read all the spells, nor all the monsters. But I pretty much read this from front to back, which is very unusual for me. I see we're all wearing our black t-shirts. I don't know if I had this on last time, but it's Hyperborea today for me. What do you got, Stu?
Today I have I believe this is a Scrap Princess skeleton T-shirt.
Oh, scribble tits.
Could we not? Maybe.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to say that. Is
I
that
don't
wrong?
know. I don't know. I've not heard anyone refer to Scrap Princess as that, but you do you, I guess.
That's not the illustration? I don't know. I thought he was maybe referring to the illustration.
Anyway, go ahead, Robert.
I've got this. This is, I think, Sawblade who did this
Looks like
illustration.
Death Dealer.
No, it's just he's a guy who does lots of illustration and gets lots of commissions, and mostly I think for a lot of metal bands.
I was going to say I don't know if I've ever heard of him in the gamosphere specifically.
Yeah, I forgot what his name is, but he usually goes by Sawblade. It might be Sawblade 666.
Sounds scary. All right. The other thing is we did a party bond for the group that we took right out of the Midlands, which was something like you guys had been moving around the Argosan Sea, this inner sea, which the whole land is around. I might as well just jot over the tabletop. It might be easier to explain then. Let's see. We can center it this way. Yeah. So this whole area called Lake Argos, these are 20-mile hexes. So this is a pretty significant area. So like 220 miles across. So it's a pretty big sea, I guess. I mean, maybe I don't really know. How big are seas normally? Does anybody know? It seems pretty large, right? How big is Lake Michigan? Robert, you almost live on it, don't you?
Yeah, I'm in the center of the state, so not quite, but well, recently I was looking at the Black Sea, and I was trying to see if I can see the dimensions of that. Let's see.
While he's looking, you guys have been working for a Karakian lord. There's a name for him. He's not part of the Circle of Five. The noble Mithri. So Lord Namfo is part of the noble Mithri. And you guys have been working for him for some unknown number of years. Not too long, because I don't think Vicente is that old. Is he, Robert?
21.
21? Oh, not too bad. So maybe a couple of years. And this has been on the Mountain Summit is the name of the craft that you've been on. And why don't we go ahead, maybe we can meet all these dudes that you guys have been working with, or at least for this particular job. I think this is probably the ship that you've been on. I didn't move you guys, did I? Son of a biscuit. No. I only moved myself.
Lake Michigan is 118 miles wide.
Wow, so this is quite a bit bigger than that.
And the Black Sea is considerably longer on the longest stretch. So the longest east-west stretch of the Black Sea is 730 miles. I don't know what it is north-south, though.
Oh, shoot, I know what I did wrong. Dagnabbit. Dagnabbit, you guys. All right, anyway, so there's the ship, and you can see I've put some tokens in there of the crew that are on the mountain summit, or the summit for short. It's Captain Aram and Mr. Aso, the first mate. I have to rejoin as player for this. And then this will be fixed. And then you guys at home will be able to see what I'm talking about. Oh. This looks like it's still showing the wrong layer. We'll try it again. All right, but you guys can't see that big group of tokens on the top like you could on Twitch, right? Okay, yeah, that's probably what you can see. Oh, I guess I named it the Alderaan Summit. That's even better. I don't know why. What's Alderaan? Does that mean anything to you guys? Sometimes I do stuff and I don't even remember why. But I bet it was a great idea at the time.
What's the Star Wars location? Sort of sounds like that.
Sort of.
So I can see all 4 ships.
Yeah, you're
Am I
supposed
to see all that?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, because you guys would be familiar with the entirety of this ship, right?
Oh, so this is the 4 levels of the ship. Okay, sorry.
Exactly. And I also there's a rowboat up here, up on the gooseneck or whatever that area is called, up on the upper deck.
What's like the toy boat way out here?
The toy boat is in case we have something out here, so that would be to the size or whatever we could do, whatever we need to out here. This is just like a work in progress.
It's foreshadowing, maybe something. All right, got it.
Well, you know, I mean, the whole game is like sort of taking place on. So far, this has been all you guys have done is went around on this Alderaan Summit and you know, done things for Lord Namfo. Okay, so we can meet the crew if you want to. I also have pictures that I set up here. So here's the summit.
What's the Lord's name again?
Namfo.
Namfo. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe I do have that.
So here is an example of this type of ship. So that's pretty cool. So you can see that like the undercarriage or the cargo hold is here. It's reached through this grated area there. You can see that the sun is shining through. This map is from Gabriel Pickard, is from what these images are. And the character art is stolen from the web. We're going to get some character portraits done by James Richards, and those are looking really, really nice. So hopefully these guys live long enough to use them. So no dying tonight, you guys. All right. So that's what the ship looks like. And now I have some close-ups. Let's take a look at Captain Eram. A hardened, grizzled captain from the Argosan Sea. His first mate, Mr. Aso. He doesn't really have guns, but I didn't take the time to crop this or anything. And then I would say the next 2 guys have relatively equal respect on the ship. Johan. Red. And Tega.
Is your illustration of Mr. Iso a Mike Tyson illustration?
Maybe. Not purposely. Not purposely. And then the 2 who kind of live up in the little, they always are on the front deck, is the Strange, Leho, an old man that likely has Shenzhou blood in him. Shenzhou is an empire far to the east. He's also a fantastic net guy, so he's a nodder. He does a lot of impressive nodding. And the young Yannick, who is kind of serves as the man, I should have looked up these terms. What's the young guy who gets thrown around to do all the dirty work on the ship? You guys know? Something boy, right? Isn't it? I don't know.
letting you down. I don't know. I don't know the size of lakes or ship
I just
worker
looked
designations.
it up.
Uh,
I should know this because I recently read
There's a name for it. I just can't think of
yeah,
it.
read an adventure that was all ship based.
so does the guy we serve, Namfo, does he own this boat? Does he just charter it to get us towards where we're going? Towards
He likely
Springfield?
owns this boat.
Okay. All right.
All of you work for Master Namfo.
Just
They're-
cabin boy.
Cabin boy, yeah, there you go. But there is some cargo on the ship. Oh, and I will kind of we should go over the ship a little bit.
So before we do that, we were hired to like do like grunt work, or are we
No, you guys are consultants.
like guards? Okay.
More consultant than anything else. And I think you've done different things, like had to interact with people to maybe pick up ingredients or reagents or do things for I think the Aldron must be their family. The Aldron Summit, because the Karokians are the people of Dalkarok. If they worship anything, it's this force called the Mountain, and they're most known for commerce. So Summit seem to be like House Alderaan is a subsidiary or kind of does fealty to one of the other houses, which I have a name for somewhere. Among the Mithri, who would be the nobility, the Circle of Five are the most powerful houses. I don't know where the name is. I'll tell you guys eventually when I find it again. Of those 5 houses, one of them is most known for dealing in iron, and that's the house the Alderaan, House Alderaan. So he would be Mithri Namfo of Alderaan. All right, and that's why this is known as the Alderaan Summit. Is the ship. So what you guys' job is, I don't know if you remember, but you are supposed to go to Brinderwold and find out what's going on with the iron mine there. It hasn't been up to par from where it should be. All right, but first, Namfo also relayed the concept that rumors have it that there is some kind of illness that may be affecting the outpost. So what he wants you to do is, on the way, there is supposedly an island that once held a cult. When I say held, I mean occupied by a cult that had waters that were healing waters. And so he's given you a silver flask to collect these waters, and hopefully, perhaps with this flask, you can end the problems of Brinderwold. Stu, you look confused.
Let's take notes. All right. Do we know anything else about the cult?
Well, I think that's something that you could have looked into while you were still at Crow's Keep before you left.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
something?
and would I know anything just generally, since I have some ability or some, given my travels, learn some stuff.
In all the 21 years?
Hey,
Don't you hey me. What?
Conan was already exploring stuff. 21. He had many adventures by that point.
That's true, but I'm not sure he was a cavar, like a beekeeper, like Vicente. All right, what I'm gonna basically give you an option. How is Norsel gonna try and find out information in Crow's Keep about this cult?
He's going to go to the library and check the card catalog for any mention of, cult and island. I'm not sure. I don't know much about Crow's Keep. Can we rewind and maybe kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yes, we absolutely can. Why wouldn't we not? I don't have a map of Crow's Keep set up on a map here, but it's definitely a fairly large area. It's known as the center of the power of the Midlanders or the Argosans. This is where King what's his face lives. The home of King Uldred. Crow's Keep, the capital of Midlander society. Now I don't see a rat catcher be having access to the I'm pretty sure that there is is it the Athenium?
Info, not Greece and palms, if we wanted to look into this, or I don't know how much you really want to go back in time to figure that sort of thing out.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all, honestly. I'm just trying to see what the Athenium is, because there's a number here. It says the Athenium. I'm assuming there's actually there's definitely an Order of the Iron God, the Royal Court, the priestesses of Argona, and this Temple of the Star Maiden. I don't think this is known as necessarily a center of information, but I mean, you don't really have any money anyway, do you?
No, I just assumed the guy we were serving might, if he, wanted to set us up for success. But if he wants us to go in blind, that's fine. That's fine. We'll do what we're paid for.
Well, let's see first, I guess. What is it that you want to see if Vicente knows about? Are you interested in the island itself, or this cult that was supposedly on it or once on it?
You're talking to me, or you're talking
Yes, Vicente.
Norsel?
Vicente.
Okay. I would just wonder if I had gathered any knowledge about this island and what's going on there.
I think you could. Don't you have a gather info? Or do you have a role or something that's affected with bards? Isn't there? Do you get advantage on gather information or something?
I do have an advantage for gather information, but I also have general lore as a skill. So I don't know if this would be considered just general lore of what I'd heard about Lake Argosa and
all right, you can
its environs.
Go ahead and try your general lore. And I think, Stu, for Norsel, I think divine lore is something you could probably do. We'll go from there.
Arcane?
Oh, no, it's not going to be arcane. All right, what'd you get? Sorry.
I had a success for the general lore check.
Oh, you did. All right, so what we're going to say is the island... you've talked to some, or maybe, you've heard word, or even maybe the scuttlebutt on the summit is that it was once known as Wisp Isle. But then the inhabitants faded away. The cult or temple or whatever it was faded away a couple hundred years ago. And now it's considered to be haunted and known as Wraith Isle.
What was it originally called?
Wisp Isle.
And what happened again? I didn't catch that part. Just something happened?
Yeah, the general lore is that the temple fell, and the priests were scattered, and then now they haunt the island.
That's foreboding.
All right. Norsal arcane lore. You need a great success.
Hey, I have one.
I gotta check this. I don't believe it. Oh, you rolled a 1? Crazy. All right, so I think since you got a great success, I said that's what you needed, so I might as well just spill some beans. The cult was known as the Cult of Gox. I'll put it in here. The Cult of Gox, and the Cult of Gox had found not the Fountain of Youth, but a well spring of healing. And so many people tried to come to them and they couldn't always give it. And eventually the people, the cult was overcome by those who wanted the healing and were destroyed, but not until after they had locked the doors of the Temple of Gox forever.
Oh.
It's not a French pronunciation, so it's like the Cult of Go.
The Temple of Go? Yeah, they could have been Karokians.
No, they're not. They're not French. I don't know why you keep thinking that.
Because I decided they are. Because I don't have a very good Italian. Accent. I don't have a good Italian accent. Oui, messieurs. Ah, Norsal Vicente. This shall be an easy task. All you merely must do is make your way to Brindenwold on the summit. The crew is there to give you what aid they can, but do know that Captain Iram is the master of his ship, and you are merely consultants while on it.
Who's speaking to us with that tone?
That was Namfo. Master Namfo, yeah. When you guys met with him in Crow's Keep.
Oh, fine. All right. This time.
And he gave us a silver flask, right?
Correct.
To collect this font of healing.
Yes.
And the market price for this flask, if we were to sell it, would be just kidding.
Just a flask?
No, I really don't care. I was just joking.
It looks like it's inscribed. It's totally made out of silver, and it's got a metal with some cork around it, but on the outside of it, heavily worn, is like an image of some kind of octopus or sea creature with tentacle-like legs.
All right. So onward to the island of locked temple full of undead. Let's do it.
The Wraith Temple. Well, remember, we're playing this game and the amount of magic is a low magic setting, so we're really trying to push that magic down. So that doesn't mean there won't be anything. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, if that makes any sense to you. Okay, Robert, though, so Norsal has conceded. Anything else? Is there anything that Vicente would like to do before leaving on the trip?
I'll spend some time talking to the crew and see what their general feeling is. Do they feel positive about this, or are they worried and nervous?
So there is no insight any longer in Tales of Argosa. That's been removed from Low Fantasy Gaming. So really it's going to be up to you to try to pick up on what's going on. So there really isn't a specific role for that. But I think that we could use gather info to do something.
I think I would just talk generally and just sort of find out what people think about the coming job.
I'm pretty sure that a ship can sail a significant amount in a day, by the way. And this information does not exist in Tales of Argosa. So we're slipping over to Old School Essentials. And we're using this as a sailing boat. All right, so from the water vessels in Old School Essentials, it's got a beam of about 15 feet, 20 to 40 feet long, a draft of 2 to 3 feet, and it can sail. It's kind of not really a seaworthy vessel, so it's got to stay around the coast. It can't really get into the deep of Lake Argos because it's not big enough really for that. You could actually crew this ship with less people, but this is what's going on here. The sailing boat is, so it can go 72 miles a day.
Depending on the prevailing winds.
Yeah. Oops. Maybe I should move you all over to this. Would this help since we're kind of talking about this now? So 72 miles a day. So if we get out our handy. So Brindelwald is over this way, just on the southwest tip of the Argos Plateau. So it'd only be a couple days to get there. Wisp Isle is going to be in this area of these islands right here.
Does the crew know how to identify the correct island?
They're aware. They it's like in this series of islands, and they're pretty sure that Captain Eram is quite astute and rather offended if you ask him that directly. He has a very military nature in the way that he clipped speaks and shows the utmost confidence to instill that in his crew. Mr. Aso is a little more amicable, but he has a biting humor. He seems to be able to have perfect timing and the best way to make jokes that are hilarious, but often at the expense of others. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to check out, I don't even have the actual correct rules in here. I think he has an addendum already to this because I noticed that he didn't really have very much in the sea, because it's going to take approximately a day to get there, right? Because it's about 60 to 70 miles away. But was there anything, I don't think I told you, I don't think you actually made your gather info check, and I didn't necessarily give you anything from that, did I?
Finding out what the crew's general feeling is?
Yeah.
Is what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Right, we haven't done that.
Yeah, go ahead. A success with a 0. All right, so I think that I think there's some trepidation. Like Yannick certainly seems scared, and Red and Tega are often teasing him about the ghosts of Wraith Isle and what's going to happen. I got to switch screens here so I can see. All right, yeah. Johann, stoic as ever, is certain that Captain Eram will get us through, and Mr. Aso adds, but I don't know how you guys on the island will do.
Yep. No one's coming with us? You don't want to check it out?
So I think when we get there, we're going to see who will go with you and how convincing you guys can be. all you have is the rowboat to go ashore. So I think that's the way we're going to handle that. If you're going to ask some people to go with you, you're probably going to get one person, and it's going to depend on, you know, who you want and how good you are at convincing Captain Eram and that person that they should go with you ashore.
Sure.
All right, makes sense.
Yep.
134. So I have to tell you guys that I'm actually using an adventure that was not written by myself, which is unusual for me. But I have converted almost everything in it to fit in with the Tales of Argosa, even the dungeon tally and everything. I've put all of that into this. So we'll see how that all works out. So we'll get to play test some of those things.
What's the dungeon tally? I didn't get to that part.
So in the dungeon events, I'll just read a portion of this page here. It's page 131. To encourage meaningful choices while exploring, TOA uses dungeon events, which are triggered by an escalating dungeon tally. The party's dungeon tally starts at 0 as they explore the complex, moving along corridors, searching rooms, disarming traps, and so on. The GM adds 1 to the dungeon tally and updates the players with the current total. In playtesting, we added metal tokens to a pile as a visual reminder. Actions that are loud or otherwise prone to draw attention might add extra points at the GM's option. So it's kind of like replaces the old school method of random encounters every turn. Because basically what you're doing is using, like, similar to the DDM, or basically this roll that you're just going to roll when the DT reaches 6, or at the GM's option when the adventurers are A, drawing attention to themselves, B, being overly indecisive, or C, there's a natural lull in the adventure. The GM rolls 2d6 on the dungeon event table. So then you create this table that fits with your specific adventure, or you can use this one and then kind of, you know, piece over what's going on. You can create a random event. You might find something that gives you a new piece of lore, a clue, or gear, or, you know, a change in terrain, or just something that happens that will affect the adventure in a way through that particular dungeon or whatever you're doing at the time.
So did he said the playtest they used tokens, so it was like a meta currency almost?
Yeah, and I think it's also like a timer.
Sure.
Right? As the timer increases, it's going to add the tension, and now there's going to be a dungeon tally of, you know, you're going to have a dungeon event because of your tally got to a certain spot. You could do it at 6. You could change it to an 8 or a 10 for a small party, or you could, change the dungeon event table however you want to. And if you don't want to do that, he also has this consulting the bones thing that you could do. And obviously you could import your own old school or OSR method of taking care of this stuff if you wish. All right. 8. Okay. Travel events. Roll a d20. While strata what follows are merely examples. Could add and substitute their own. So there's an actual voyage thing here to do, and basically we're just going to roll a d20. This is similar to what you would do if in an old other game on your you'd have a random encounter table, or a random encounter that would occur or not occur, where this is it does all sorts of things, but it's specifically for voyages. All right. All right. Holy shit. This is a very long one. Let's just do this one instead. I got lazy, you guys. It's like a super... Do you want to do the long one or a short one? I'll give you guys the option. 4 or 6.
There's a reason you wanted to do the other thing. Do the other thing.
Well, just because I don't even want to read all this. There's too much to read at this moment. So yeah, I think as you guys are sailing, it's going to be around halfway through the day. You hear Yannick cries out from his makeshift tent. As you know, oh, I did check the weather, but I already forgot what it was. 7. So it's been fairly temperate. And you guys can see bobbing in the, so you can almost see all the mountains to the right, the spine of Ulgoth, and the Argos, just the spine of Ulgoth is off to your right. You're not getting too far away. You're staying within a mile or two of the coast. And you know that you're probably about halfway. You've pretty much probably just cleared this big area of water, or of this river to the south. This is the Fennorn River, and so this would be the Fennorn Delta here. Right there. So you're probably halfway is probably going to be, you know, just past that, clearing it or so. And along the coast, you guys come upon, it appears that some sort of shipwreck or drift cargo. So you can see some like a sail and maybe some flotsam and jetsam. It looks like some kind of ship or something was harmed or sunk here. And you can see some stuff on the surface. What do the consultants say about it?
Well, I would call it... Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I was just going to call attention, make sure that the crew sees it, and Captain Neeram, this is something he wants to check out.
Stu, do you have something you wanted to say?
We're gonna see if maybe the captain is there like a spyglass on board or something that we can check it out from afar.
Why don't you make a luck check to see if Captain Neeram has a spyglass? Those are going to be rather expensive.
Yeah. Let's see. A great success.
A great success, yes. So Captain Neeram has a fine spyglass handed down. I'm putting this in his notes. Why don't you tell me about this spyglass? What makes it special?
He seems kind of vain, so I'm gonna go with it's very ornate. On top of the optics themselves were really expensive. It's probably one of the finest items that he might own. He's probably overly proud of it. Definitely doesn't let the cabin boy touch it.
Keep your hands off this, Yannick. So I'm going to say owns a fine spyglass, ornate and well-fashioned optics, said to have been made by Professor Revax at the Center of Knowledge in Northgate. There. Nice. Captain Neeram is going to be very happy about that. All right, so yeah, he looks at it, and you guys have slowed down, maybe banked the sails and are checking it out from a distance, and he says, "It looks safe enough." It looks to be like some wood, like a bit of a drawer or dresser, perhaps.
There's not more? I thought there was a whole
No, this is it.
parts of a ship.
Nope. The rest there is other bits and bobs, but it's just like flotsam, like old wood and stuff. It's not like a mast or a sail or anything like that.
And you said this looks like a...
It might be like a part of a dresser or a chest or something like that. So what do you guys advise?
could be valuables in there. Maybe it'd be worth checking out, Captain.
Let's do it.
Does Norsel agree?
Yeah, is there land in sight anywhere?
Like I say, it's to
Okay.
the southeast, that because you'd never get without more than 1 or 2 miles out away from
Okay.
land. Because if
Got
if it gets really stormy or something, you're going to have issues with this because it's not really a seaworthy vessel. It's really
Yeah.
like a river lake vessel.
I was just trying to think through like the source of wreckage. Like, did it happen here, or did it just drift here? I mean, we can go poke at the drawer itself, get closer to it at least. Does the captain have a guess at the depth of the water here?
Sure, of course, we could do a depth check, but he's pretty sure you're far enough away from any land that he knows this route, and it's not going to be a danger to the summit, if that's what you're asking.
No, I was more fishing for like, I don't know. Do we think there's wreckage at the bottom of where this, is bobbing? Would we want to check that out, or I don't know.
Possibly, but he's not interested in diving down.
I'm all for pulling the dresser onto the ship and seeing what's in it.
We've got
Please
a
do
job
that.
to do.
I didn't know you were coming with us.
What?
Nothing. I was yet again making a little jab about I didn't know he was coming with us onto
Well,
the
they're not
island.
sending the rowboat out or anything. He's just going to bring the
Jeez.
ship around to check it
Yeah.
out and try to pull it aboard. All right, so what it says here is that a group luck save garners something. So if we succeed at the luck save, you find some valuables. If you fail at the luck save, it's a 3-hit dice or a 3-hit dice layer treasure. So a group luck save basically means you guys both make a luck save. If you succeed, your luck is going to go down 1, and we're going to roll on these treasure tables to see what's in here.
Okay,
Fail,
so we're pulling it
then
aboard.
there is no
is what you're saying.
treasure. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So that's just a straight luck check.
It's a luck save, but I would say that's going to be straight, no modifiers.
The difficulty for this sort of group check would scale to be more difficult with a larger party. It's just kind of like an interesting thing. Yeah. All right, let's roll.
That looked green.
And was.
Oh, a terrible failure. So I think those even out.
Stu's got all the good rolls tonight.
We're using them here before it really matters. All right, so now I got to find valuables. What?
A group check is codified in the rules. I didn't know. Okay. Making a group check, the whole party succeeds as long as more than half the group succeeds.
Yeah, so it's not really scaled by the size of the
Got
group,
it.
if that's what
Got it.
I thought that was the case, but I appreciate you looking it up, man. Valuables B is on page 215. And in doing it this way, we could also obviously create more excitement, and it could be something else happens. The game could always be dynamic and shifting, and that's definitely what he's trying to do, is that dynamic and shifting sort of thing. It looks like we need to roll a D100. Since Stu succeeded, you should probably roll this, Robert.
Oh, you want me to roll it?
Mm-hmm.
So before we do that, pulling it up, does it look like a chest? That's what it is?
I think what it is like a portion of a wall that actually had a dresser built into it, but one portion of that dresser has been destroyed, and one drawer is still there. An 8. All right, Stu, pick A or B.
E.
B. All right, so you guys, Jimmy, open the drawer. Maybe it'll be fun. Did anyone take any skills to act? Did anyone take pick locks or anything? Maybe the drawer's stuck.
No.
Stu, no.
No skills, really.
It's a skill that you can take, so it's all right if you didn't. All right, so I think, let's see, who do you guys think would most likely have some skills at this? Is it the blind Master Leho, or blind Leho, or one of the other, Johan Red or Tega, who has some skills with jimmying locks? Don't care.
No,
I would go.
Go ahead.
I would go with Leho.
Blind Leho, just because of that full size picture. I don't think he probably has two swords and all that. This is obviously a Witcher picture. I was just really doing the head of him. But all right, I like it. So Leho pulls out, a little knife-like thing and messes with it and opens it. And inside you find an intricate double finger ring depicting a pair of birds. I think Captain Eram has a normal thing. Most of the stuff, you always probably have to give a portion to Master Namfo. And then there's a portion that goes to the ship, and then the rest is split amongst all of y'all. Probably less to some of the people than others. But we'll figure that out. Because that is not how we're going to do experience anyway. We're going to do experience by slowly gaining it during the session. There's certain things that happen on some of the random encounter tables that give you the options of taking an advance, they call it. So that's how we're going to gain levels. You guys are going to be motivated by your own motivations, not by experience points. All right, that takes a little time. And
A good omen. A good omen. Surely.
Perhaps, but don't call me Shirley, says Mr. Aso. All right. Oh, wait, I'm going to write this on Leho. No little skill. Picking locks. All right.
Is it a particular type of bird, or it's just
I think it's just too stylized bird, because it's just on a ring, right? It's a
Right.
double finger ring that has it, which is pretty cool. Never really thought about double finger rings, but that sounds neat to me. All right, so let's Stu, anybody at YouTube?
No, pretty quiet tonight.
Oh, nice. It is Wednesday. It's only 8 o'clock. We kind of got on here pretty fast, honestly, and got this rolling. And we weren't here last week. Or did we play last week or no? I don't remember.
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that, but I was like, man, I don't remember shit. So we probably didn't play last week. Otherwise, I would remember. All right, so I think that as night is beginning to fall, you guys have there's a series of islands along the coast, and there's probably a name for all these islands, but Eram points one out. And you guys are, you're still a little bit distant from it. It's kind of a triangular shaped. Maybe pyramidical is a better terminology, I guess.
You mean it rises up out of the water in that way?
Yes. I got it. I think I have an image.
Okay.
Hey. How's it doing that? So pretty cool, eh? I think, yeah, so you can see some birds like grouse and some white erns have flown over the ship. One of them landing near us on the side to peck at some dribble that Yannick likely left on the boat. Johan shoos it away. As you guys are, it's nighttime. The moon is out and there's enough stars. You can almost see wisps of fog moving along. Do you see that, like that path that goes up to the summit? There's like a path in the center. That's actually a path that leads up to the top. And along that side of the island, you see wisps of clouds, and that's when those aren't wisps. Those are the wraiths of Wraith Island, Lalo says, his eyes milky white. Yannick blanches. The guys all kind of look over at you dudes. A low fog seems to creep in off the inside of the deeper lake, of the mid-lake area, and seems to kind of cover part of the island.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
What do you think? You gonna wait till daytime to go to the island, or?
Are we pressed for time for?
Only as much as you want to. So you guys get paid by the job, not by the hour.
But Captain Eram doesn't need to be back at a particular time for another job.
You guys are headed to Brindlewold.
Oh, right, Brindle. Yep.
And there's definitely something going on at Brindlewold.
I'm okay boarding, like going to the island at night. I just didn't know. Do you feel strongly about it, or you just want to check it out?
I think the concern is warranted, but yeah, night, cover of darkness, but other things like to come out at night.
Yeah.
So you guys have come up. Let's switch this over so we can see. Oh, that looks pretty good. This guy's getting good at this. I better not speak too soon, though. So that picture that I showed you is from here, looking up the island. This little bit.
Right.
You can just see that going up there.
And I take it, looking at the island at this time, we don't see. There's no like movement, no signs of life.
Like wisps, you guys are a ways away from it, right? I don't know if you
Right.
see, but the measurement from here is, this is like 75 feet or 80 feet a square or something.
Oh, wow.
Still, we don't see anything at the base of the island.
You would see as the fog is creeping in, you do see some birds flying from the tree to tree and stuff. There's birds flying around on the top of the island. Like these areas, this is cliff face over here. See how it's all ridged kind of? So would be almost impossible to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
This is the lowest area here, and this is where the stairs are going up, and they seem to start at some sort of landing. Unless you were going to make so what I would say is you guys came from the south, right? So you came this way instead of going on the west side of the ship, maybe of the island. Apparently, Captain Eram was already aware and brought you in here kind of in the channel between the island and the mainland. And so this is the way you've come up, and then you looked up this way. And we'll say it's probably, it's got to be late 10 or 11 at night, probably.
So it's already dark.
Yeah. When you got here, it was getting dark. That's what I had said.
Right.
I don't know. You could see the stars were up, but then the fog came through. As the stars were up, you could see wisps. And then Leho said that those weren't wisps of fog. Those were the ghosts. Or the wraiths. The ghosts of Wraith Isle. Like some of this stuff is not visible because it's nearing high tide.
Yeah, I think we should set anchor, wait until morning, then venture out. I think it's way too dark late at night at this point. Although, like I said, cover of darkness does give us some. We'll be clearly visible the next day, whether that is a problem or not.
It's supposed to be abandoned, right? Who comes out here? That'll be fine.
Norsel, you don't have any magic that can
You don't know Norsel can
give us some
cast
insight.
magic.
Oh, I don't know that.
No, because remember, magic is totally illegal
Oh, right.
everywhere
Okay.
for everybody.
Right. So we wait till morning.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, let's wait until morning.
I'm pretty excited about all these images. Can you tell? I
There's
don't know if
something
they're-
about this island map that I find appealing.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't know what it is. I like it.
it's pretty cool. It's not my usual, of course. I don't usually have this much normally, like this anyway. There's some new ways of doing stuff on Roll20 too that is slowing me down a little bit.
And just before we make that final decision that we're going to wait until morning, how much light would we have at this point? Is there much in terms of like moonlight or anything like that?
There's moonlight and starlight, but an eerie fog has crept in and covering the lower portion of the island and you guys. It's not really up on top of the ship yet. It's just kind of along the water.
More so, the mystery of it just draws me in, but you want to wait until morning.
I'm good either way. I'm trying to think like it's almost like partly like game pressure. Like I want to go do a thing, so let's just go. But
There's definitely no absolute need to go in the middle of the night. It's
I
up to
think the
you.
smart play. Let's wait till light, and we go with dawn.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do that. Leave right at first light.
Wait a second. One. All right. So why don't you guys tell me how you spend your night? Like, do you guys sleep in the cargo hold? So a lot of times there's always one person who is resting or sleeping. Let me see what map we're on. Okay, we're on that map. All right. So the cycle is normally, you have Leho and Yannick. and they sleep in this area in this little tent up here. They don't have their own spot. Right on the deck. And then this is the area for passengers, whoever is in, and they usually have at least one crew member, and either Mr. Aso or Captain Eram, and this is their area back here. He's got a little desk and all that back here. So there's either one of them up, and usually at least one, maybe two members of the crew up. You guys, if you wanted somewhere to stay, one of you could use one of these hammocks, or you could set up a hammock in the hold.
So
Yeah.
were you actually pointing to things? I didn't see anything on the map.
Oh, you didn't? Well, that sucks.
No, I didn't.
I was pointing to things, sorry. So this is the, oh shit. Captain's quarters and first mate down here.
Yep. Okay. See it.
This is the crew and passengers hammocks here. This on here on the deck, this is where Yannick and Leho stay. If they need any shelter, they go into this little tent here. Or you could have a spot in the hold. Or take like one or two of these hammocks if you wanted. Or you could stay up here on the forecastle or the aft castle or whatever this is. This is also where the rudder is. So Mr. Aso this is where the rudder is. So where you would sail move it if you weren't using the sails. Control it is the term I'm looking for. I'm pretty on top of this stuff.
This is in the poop back here.
Yeah, that's the upper level.
Right.
This is kind of like just what the whole surface looks like, where this is just the map for the upper level up here.
Uh-huh.
And this is just kind of like the deck with the upper. This is what you would normally see, right?
Right. Okay.
Like I had Vicente hanging out down here with Norso, like having a little cubby up here with Mr. Aso next to the boat. But you guys can put yourselves wherever you want.
Yeah. Is Vicente interested in maybe chatting up some of them and maybe seeing if anyone's interested to come with?
Yeah, I was thinking of talking to Johan and seeing if he seems like a man of adventure.
I thought he might be the most likely as well, just based on the
Interesting.
picture.
So we'll bring Johan out here. Like, are you guys, what are you going to do this night before you're actually supposed to get to work as true consultants? What do you think you're doing?
Well, we're trying to get
sleeping, resting, studying, what?
trying to persuade Johan to come with us.
Yeah, that wouldn't take all
That's my
night.
primary.
That wouldn't
Right.
take all night, is what I'm saying. That we'll make a roll to see, how that works out. But I'm just asking, like, all right. So let's see who else. How many people got out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
I'd like to also at times, I'm going to rest, but intermittently get up and watch the island and see if I see anything.
Okay, I like that. So
Norsel, have you asked Captain Iso if you can borrow his?
Well, I was going to ask if he was willing to let us borrow it through the night.
Spyglass?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you would need a great success with disadvantage, because we've already kind of established that that's a very prized possession. What's Norsel doing while Johan is talking to Vicente?
I was thinking about trying to talk to Leho and see if I can get a read on, what his deal is. Like he made commentary about the fog, but seemingly he can't actually see. So I was just kind of curious. Maybe start with small talk and kind of work my way up to, you seem so certain about the race when we got in the area. What's that all about?
All right, sounds good. So let's see. He seems rather tight-lipped unless he can. Just from your experience, maybe Leho and Yannick are rather new, so that's why you don't know them as well as maybe the other guys. And it's obvious to you that he has to be blind the way his eyes look. No one could, because they're all milky, you know.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. And I think he would probably say a lot of the things that you've heard before, like, oh, he's got Shenzhou blood and he's been traveling around the Lake Argosa for most of his life. Only recently came under the employ of Mithri Namfo. All
Great.
right, Vicente, what are you gonna do with Johan?
So I'm given his look and what little I've known of him on the ship for the last day. I still get the sense that he seems to be somebody who wants to do more than just, I don't know, do these tasks, these more menial tasks on the ship itself. So I would encourage him. He seems to be a man of adventure, to join us tomorrow on our ascent up the island. It is sure to bring us riches, I'm sure, within that temple, besides what we are looking for the wellspring of healing. And even if that's all we find, the adventure that you have will be something you can tell many others for time to come.
All right, sounds cool. Roll D100. We're basically gonna set up a little bit.
99.
Oh, Jesus. So his personality is iron grit. Roll 100, Stu. D100.
29.
What is it?
29.
29. Hmm. He always seems to have a bit of a foul odor about him. All right. Roll 1d12, Robert.
Nine.
Okay, so he has medium armor, likely chain, and a great axe. All right, roll 1d100, Stu.
71. And his catchphrase is, smells like a trap. All right. Nice. All right, so do you have leadership, Robert? Is one of your skills leadership?
No, it is not.
All right. So I think what
I do have persuasion.
Yeah, they're asking for leadership for recruitment of hirelings, which is interesting.
Do the skill checks still work similarly, where like you don't have to have the skill, you just don't get the +1 in your reroll?
Correct. That's exactly what
see.
I would say.
I see.
Yep, just like anything else. So, You haven't been offended by his foul odor, so why don't you go ahead and make a charisma check? Ooh, failed. By 2. You only need a 17? Robert, your charisma
Say
is
that
17.
again?
Your charisma is 17?
No, that my target's 15.
Oh, I
that's
see. You
my
rolled a
charisma.
17. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
screwing that up. All right. So it seems like Johan probably doesn't want to go. So I guess we probably should have made this check before we did all those rolls. But hey, we can keep these rolls for him for the future. All right, who's your next guy? Looks like you could do Tega, Leho, or Yannick.
I think I would move on to Tega.
All right.
Johan has rebuffed my my offer.
Yes. So go ahead. See what he
Tega's
does.
a burly guy.
Yes.
You want me to do the charisma check again?
Yeah.
I largely say the same thing, that he looks like he desires adventure, and this is an adventure that he'd be able to tell his friends and family for some time.
Okay. Go for it.
I needed to practice.
A great success. So the night continues. Now let's figure out what this guy's personality is. So I need 2 1D100s.
You want me to roll one?
Yeah.
Instead
However,
two. Or 96 and then 3.
96.
Oh, he already rolled both of them. Yep.
96. You said.
Yeah.
So foul mouthed.
That fits with being a sailor.
He seems quite short and stocky.
Yeah, it fits the picture.
So he has a con of 15. All right, so roll a D12 and a D100, Robert. What'd you get, buddy?
The D12 rolls a 4.
All right, so he's got chain and a mace.
And then you needed to roll on
You rolled a
D100?
Yeah, D100.
100.
Oh, 100. His catchphrase is, "What? Speak louder, would ya?" So apparently he's got dwarf blood in his past, and he's hard of hearing. All right, nice. So that was fun. All of these are in Tales of Argosa, these tables that I'm looking at.
Cool.
All right. I think eventually Leho is going to go to sleep and kick Yannick out, and he's supposed to keep the lantern burning through the night and keep watch. Johan will also go to sleep. So you're kind of at bay, so most of the people are sleeping in their bunks. And what are you guys doing?
We get some rest.
Where do you do that?
The safest place possible.
What sounds like the safest place? Up on top, where the rudder is? Is that the aft castle? In the hold?
In the rowboat, in case we have to make a quick escape.
Under the rowboat? The rowboat's all lashed in.
Yeah.
'Cause you wouldn't want to lose that in a storm. But you can be up here. Just put yourself wherever you are. What about you, Vicente? Are you still talking with Tega at this point?
Sure, we're still talking.
I'm leaning against these barrels over here.
All right, so Norsel is up there. You're sleeping up there? Is that where you normally are? Well, so that's a cask on its side, but good enough. All right, so Vicente, you are up here. Make a detection roll. Success. All right.
Yep.
Wait, I thought it was me.
I
No?
did. I
Oh.
said Vicente. You're sleeping. So
I
Norsel, you go to the sleep. You fall asleep to the sounds of a burgeoning storm. All right, nice.
Is that what I was supposed to roll? He says detection check perception. I rolled perception.
If you don't have detection, you'd have to roll perception, and you can't use
okay.
and you can't use your reroll pool because you don't have that specific skill.
Yeah, I don't have that as a skill.
Exactly. All right. All right, I'm going to find mercenaries in here quick. I want, all right, Stu, make a perception check for Yannick. And Robert, you do a perception check for Tega. I don't feel like anyone has their chain armor on while they're on the ship, because that sounds a little dangerous. But what do you think? Would you be wearing your chain armor right now?
I'm still awake, so if I'm not sleeping, I think I might have it on.
Walk it, because if you fall off the ship, obviously you're probably going to be dead with chain armor on, right?
I don't know. Is this standard? Would we call this like standard operating procedure? Have
That's
seen
what I'm
other people
saying.
do
I
this?
was thinking that I doubt that Tega has his chain on.
Okay, then I would store mine like where Tega and Johan stores
in
their
here.
Yep, their armor.
And this is also the armory. That's what this weapons rack is right here. But there would be like bill hooks and different things that would be used as weapons on the ship, right? And some people would probably have like a knife or something in there. And you could carry stuff on you if you wanted to. It's up to you. You know, it would just be normal operating procedure, okay? All right, what'd you guys get for those straight perception rolls? Ooh, Yannick got a 2. That's pretty good. What did...
So you just want me to do a straight D20?
Yeah. Yannick's perception is a 10.
$11
And 11.
for Tega.
Tega, I'm going to call a human guard. We're going to use a human guards. So he's got a perception of 12. And you got an 11, you said?
Yep.
All right, so both of them moving their duties. Yannick is like, what? Oh, I didn't do it. We should do it. We should do a. You hear Yannick yell something. I don't know what. Oh, and then from back in the room, Johan smells like a trap. What's this other guy say? Oh, then he says, "What? Speak louder! I can't hear you." As you see some creatures starting to scale Or, I mean, it's like you hear Yannick, he yells, shit, I forgot where I had this. Here we go. Let's pop this thing. Oh, shit. There you go.
Yannick's foul mouth. I thought that was Johan that's supposed to be that way.
It might be.
Oh no, that's Tega. Tega's the foul mouth one, right?
I don't know how to shut this now. Okay, this is what I do here. That's not even the right one. Oh, I'll use my phone. That'll be smart. Yeah, Tega is supposed to be the foul mouth. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. Oh, nope, that's not it. God damn it, Hobbs. I thought I had everything ready. Of course not. So I'm working on creating a template to do all the, I suppose we could zoom this in. I'm working on a template to do all the monsters that I create for Tales of Argosa and OSE or whatever to release them to patrons, and then probably somehow collate them and do like a PDF or something at some point. All right, but I will give you this since you probably already studied the other thing. What do you think of that? You hear Yannick, he cries, it's Johnny Scoopins. Maybe Scuppins. Johnny Scuppins. Ah, the feckin' scopes. Bill Hooks. Tega yells. All right, so why don't we see if you guys have ever dealt with these sea vultures before? Does anyone have animal lore?
Yes, I do.
Make an animal lore check. If you don't, then it would just be an intelligence check.
Great success.
Ooh, a great success. So as soon as he says it, you know, you're very familiar with the sculp. It's the singular and plural, but you do know that the seamen, they call them different names by like Janny Scoopins, the Scumpies, or sea vultures. They're known as nasty aquatic humanoids resembling, I guess there's a sculpin as an actual ship. They have a small body in comparison to an oversized head, comprised mostly of a mouth filled with pin-like teeth. They're covered in a mottled colored scales and sharp spines, and the spines contain a paralytic venom capable of incapacitating their prey, and they're also known to put the venom on their weapons. Doom, doom, doom. All right. Pretty exciting. Whoa. Or is that not how you guys would say it? Oh, I'm sweating up here. Let's turn on the AC. This is getting too exciting now. All right. What is that too loud?
No, it's not. It's fine.
I had it turned down.
You're getting that from the Viking show, aren't you?
This is by Tabletop Audio, so it's called Vikings, but I don't think it's from the actual show. No.
Did the commotion wake me up or not yet?
I think I'll give you detection with advantage because they were yelling. I'll just say you woke up. I think. Did you get it anyway?
I did.
All right. So, oh yeah, initiative is done a little different now. Man, Oh, you guys probably already did your initiative, right? So all you have to do is hit a button or something, or you already know what it is. So initiative in this game is not just a dex check, it's actually an initiative check, which is lessening the importance of the dex stat.
And isn't it group now?
Is it? It might be. That sounds a little familiar. Where the hell is the initiative spot? I knew I should have the... I even looked at it first. Initiative, page 68, so I should just go to 68. That would help, right? Initiative. Surprise. So no one is going to be surprised in this. One player rolls for initiative. One PEC makes the initiative check to represent the whole party. Roll 1d20 aiming for equal or under their initiative score. And that initiative score, it's on page 11, how that's calculated, is the average of their dexterity and intelligence scores rolled down. All right, so I'm going to let you guys decide who is going to roll initiative. All right, I'll decide. Stu.
I was trying to look for if I had written a note down for my...
All right, 11 or less, success. So the party gets to go first. On a great success, you'd also act before bosses and heavies. If the PC fails, the party acts after the enemy. All right, each turn, characters take one action and one move. So we'll keep this going. You can control Tega for now, Robert. And
Yep.
Stu, you can control Yannick.
So are these creatures scrambling up the side of the boat, or
They're quickly climbing up. They'll definitely be up on the surface when it's their turn.
Is Yannick armed?
Like I say, they all have knives, but you could also grab a bill hook or different types of, like a club or whatever from around the ship. There's rope nearby.
And where did you say? Oh, never mind. This is the weapons rack.
Yeah, the weapons
right?
rack. The armory is back there. That would be like your heavy armories.
Right. So normally I have a spear, but I probably wouldn't have that on me right now.
I doubt it. I doubt you'd be carrying your spear around the ship. Yeah. But like I say, you can grab up a bill hook or a bill or whatever, a club or any of those things will be easily to hand. So this doesn't really do measurement anymore. It's close, far, melee, close, far, and very far. So melee is up to 5 feet or so. Close is like 30 feet. So it's anywhere on the front deck, and far is going to be in another room or up on, is that the poop deck? Is that what that is?
Yeah, usually.
All right, so what are we doing here? Norsil's moving. You're moving from far into close proximity.
Yep, that's the idea, and I'm just gonna wait for them to get on the deck before he does anything else.
All right. What's Yannick doing?
Grabbing a bill hook and hopefully either trying to prevent the one over here from getting up, or will attack once he gets up.
So like you could try and scrape him off the side if you wanted to.
Yeah, sure.
Don't forget we have this game is known for its exploits, right? So just like DCC, you can do mighty deeds with every type of character. If it's temporary, like knocking them off the side of the ship, that is not gonna. It's basically just going to be a strength check. What you have to do is make an attack check and do damage, and then you have to narratively say what you're trying to do. I don't know exactly why you rolled already, but that's the way the minor exploit works. Unless you want to do it
for an attack.
For an attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that roll doesn't count until you know what you're doing. So that's what I'm saying at this point, right? So What are you going to do? Are you just going to attack and that's it? You're just trying to hit him?
Or trying to prevent him from coming up was the idea.
Okay. All right. So I would say that would be a minor exploit, and because that's temporary, you can just try to knock him off fairly easily. You're a human commoner. You've got a bill hook, so 4 hit points. So go ahead and roll a 20.
Also,
4. Nice. All right, so Yannick grabs up like a, you know what a bill hook is? It's just like kind of a long staff that has like a hook at the end. That's about it. Like, and not like a small hook, like you'd hang something off of your ceiling, but you know, like a hook that has probably 4 or 5 inches in between where the sharp end is and where the hook comes from. And it's a reach weapon as well. All right, so Norsel, are you doing anything else other than moving?
I'm not. I was going to wait for them to get to the deck before I might consider something else.
Okay. So what is in this game? You would have to say what that is as a reaction.
Yeah. I'm waiting until next round. Sorry,
So you're not doing anything else.
Correct.
All right. So, but you could say if someone comes within range, I'm going to stab them or whatever.
I mean, I'll probably do that. Like, if someone comes right to me, I will swing my long sword. But other than that, I was considering casting next round, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. So let's see what Tega and Vicente are doing.
So Tega would move up and... I thought you said you gave me ability to control him. It's not.
Oh, maybe I didn't yet. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
He's going to move into close.
He's going to move up to help Yannick, yeah.
Is he trying to knock the guy free? Is he trying to grab him? What's he trying to do?
So he's going to try to knock him off the boat.
Okay. So he is actually considered a human guard. So he has a +1 to hits. Dr. Drano, welcome, sir.
So you just want me to roll a d20 plus 1?
Roll a d20 plus 1. A 14 is gonna be a hit. What were you wanting him to have as a weapon?
What would it be right in the vicinity for him to have grabbed? There's more of those bill hooks. He'll just grab one of those if that's available.
Yeah, that's fine. So those are going to have reach as well. That's a hit. Roll 1d6.
2.
All right, so I want you to make a strength check versus his strength. This is an opposed roll, and in the lowest roll wins. All right, yeah, so you did 2 points of damage to him, and he is in the water. So he is knocked back off a few feet into the water, and he's also hurt. First time in chat, Dr. Drano. Welcome, man. That's exciting. Is someone laughing at me? You did 2 points, right?
Yep.
Do you have a strength bonus or anything? No?
That was Tega, so I don't know if he's got any strength bonus.
Oh, he does. He has a strength of 13, so he does have a +1.
Brian in the bunker is also saying hello, everybody.
Oh, he's in
on
YouTube?
YouTube.
Hey,
Yep.
welcome, Brian in the bunker. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, we got a little new game going here. We're pretty excited about it. I feel like maybe it's a little slower than I'd like, but I don't think that's anyone's fault. I think it's just where we are right now. We're fighting some sculpts, guys. All right, so everyone else will be awake.
Does Vicente get to do anything? At this point?
Yes, go ahead.
So, you also said there were clubs nearby?
Yep,
Okay. These are short or...
right.
Okay. He'll grab one of those clubs. He'll run over to the tent, wake up Leho.
Okay.
Although I
Leho
guess you just said
is
he was...
awake. But I mean, that's fine. Maybe you help. Like you tell him to get out of there, or do you say anything to him, or
Yeah, I said we're being attacked by sea vultures.
he's an old man. Hey, the damn Scopies. All right. Do you want to try and hit one of these dudes? Do you want to have a reaction? You're going to hit one if one comes up into close range with you?
Yep.
All right, so that's exactly what's going to happen. He kind of scrabbles forward. We're just going to put him here. It doesn't matter. All right, so they're going to attack. So this guy can attack with his bone-tipped, his spiny spear here. He's going to attack. 1 or 2 or 3 would be Tega. 4, 5, or 6 is going to be Yannick. 4. So that's Yannick. I don't know why I'm on that screen. So he gets a +1 to this roll. A 4 misses. This guy is going to attack Vicente or Lejo, but you can attack him first. Are you going to try to do anything with this or no?
Like how large is the club? You're talking about like
How large do you want it to be?
2 feet, 3 feet long? Is
2.5
that too long?
feet long.
2.5 feet.
You want it to be a straight club, or do you want it to have a hook on the end? A bill has like a bill could just you could use it either way. It's up to you. But if you wanted to do some special maneuvers or something, it could have a hook on it.
Well, I was just thinking about more like trying to push him off the side.
Oh yeah, you can
So
do
like
that.
bracing it like this and then pushing it, pushing him
Certainly.
off the side.
Yeah, go for it. Roll a d20. Add your attack bonuses that you'd ever have with melee.
Yeah, I don't have any. $14.
Oh, that is a hit. Do some damage.
What will a club be?
A club.
D6?
There might be a d4 in this game. All weapons have a natural 19 effect. You know what I should do? Somebody remind me. I should put the weapons in as a handout, so that way we can just pop it open, and then we can see all of those natural things, right? Doesn't that sound like a smart idea?
Yeah.
D6.
The club is d6. Thank you.
3.
All right, 3 points. Let's see how many points this guy has. Oh, he's got more than 3. Nice try.
And do I push him off the side?
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a strength, contested strength check. Like I say, he's got a strength of 7.
And I just need to roll strength, right?
Yep.
My roll was a 3.
Oh yeah. All right. So he also gets tossed into the sea, the inner sea. I always want to say the brine and stuff, but it doesn't really have that as a, because it's not. It's an inner sea. Like the Black Sea is not salt water, right? It's regular water. Lake Michigan isn't salt water either, right?
Yeah, the Black Sea I think actually is brackish at least
Oh, okay.
because it connects to. Is that right?
All right, so good job. It did not get to his attack off. You tossed him out of the ship up before he could. Nice work. All right, so I think it is initiative time. So this time it's Robert on initiative, unless you're going to cast, Stu.
I am not going to cast.
All right, so initiative, Robert. Did you roll?
Who do you want to roll for
You.
this?
Robert.
Oh, sorry.
Checking out your Twitter there, or what? What the heck was going on? A 10, is that a success?
10 would be equal to the average of my dex and intelligence.
All right, so that means you guys go first. What are you gonna do? Why don't we start with Norsel and Yannick?
Yeah. I'll come up here, and we are both going to attack the same. Here's Yannick. Also roll the 4 again, so that's this, and then Norso.
I would also suggest try not to forget the exploits. Did you hit?
Yep, AC 17 for 2 damage.
Because it's very possible you could have done something else other than just this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Brian in the bunker said the video of the battle map looks like it's pushed to the left.
It is a little bit. You're just gonna have to make do, Brian.
He also has a lot of info about the salinity of the Black Sea.
Interesting. Nice. Thanks, Brian, in the bunker. All right. What about Tega and Vicente? I think Lejo will take the opportunity. He's going to go in and try and get the other dudes up. These guys come out with their weapons. All right, what is Vicente and Tega doing?
I think I'm just going to do a straight attack on this guy.
Go for it, man.
It's only a 7.
That's a miss.
And then you want to roll for a take. Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
A 4 for him.
All right, misses. All right, if this was... I was just talking with someone about Cairn. Oh, because James Spahn wrote a Cairn-based game. We wouldn't be rolling for attacks. We would just be rolling damage. Kind of an interesting thought process. These guys are going to double move. All right, roll a d20. Either one of you, it doesn't matter. Whoever's is first.
Go for it, Randy.
Oh, I thought you were doing
That's why.
12.
A 12. That is not enough. Oh, no. All right, Stu, make a luck con check for red. It's got to be pretty low.
14. To figure out what his
That won't be enough.
con is.
No, it's his luck. I already have all those stats. All right, so red is stabbed with one of these spiny spears from someone who had one of these sea vultures had climbed up onto the poop deck and snuck up and stabbed him. This guy is stuck in the middle of y'all, so he's gonna try and I don't know what the hell is this guy gonna do. I don't think he likes being captured like that. These guys aren't the smartest, so he's probably gonna try and get away from that situation. So he's gonna pick one of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, I thought that would show up, but it's not. Okay, 1 is Yannick. So he's going to try and push through Yannick. A 7 is not going to do it. So he's stuck in the midst there. All right, so I think it is initiative time. 3. Go ahead. Stu's turn. It's only a matter of time now, boys. Failure.
16 to 14.
All right. This guy runs down and grabs up red. These guys are gonna fight. So we got a 1 or a 2 there. 6, so that's gonna go on Norsel. The other one's gonna attack Johan, and that guy is gonna try to break out again, attacking Yannick. So we'll go Yannick, with the 1 on Yannick, the 1 on Norsel, and the 1 on Johan in that order. These are at a +1. 11, 17, 6. So that 11 is probably gonna hit. What's your AC, Norsel? 11?
Yep.
All right. Roll a. Oh shit! I forgot that. Roll a luck contest. You get it?
Yep.
So don't forget to take your luck down 1 point. The rest of these are guards. Got 8. Con 12. Strike that. So I'm gonna put this into red. Is the music good? Are you happy?
Yeah, it's a good selection.
And you said Norsel, you were hit, right?
Yep.
2 points of damage, but you are not poisoned by the paralytic spines. No 19s. 16, that should be a hit though. And that was on. Oh, that would have been Yannick. All right, Yannick. Let's see how many hit points Yannick has.
He said it was 4.
He's already. Oh, he's already done. 8 hit points, 4. Okay. Ooh, this could be not good for old Yannick. Oh, I better roll it on the thing. What is it?
1.
1. Oh. All right. Luck con save for Yannick. Whoever's controlling Yannick.
So 14.
Oh, I should do it that way. There's a way to do a timer on here. Or there used to be. I don't remember. Just gonna do this. For him. All right, Yannick, roll. I'll just do it. 2 for him. All right, and that's it. You guys are wreaking havoc on you now. All right, now it's your guys' turn.
Now I'm casting.
Oh, you had to say that before initiative was rolled.
Is it declared in this system?
I'm pretty sure it is, isn't it? I could be wrong. Let's check. Let's check. This is new
Next
for us.
BX Roots.
I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for sure. I think it's page 68 is combat. This is our first combat, guys, so hopefully we'll know this stuff. I could be wrong. I have no idea. It doesn't say anything about declaring.
Yeah, I didn't see the spell section here.
Okay, so no, you don't have to. Oh, so you are going to cast in front of all these dudes. Okay.
I am. I've got to make an int check first.
Oh, let's go to, yeah, what page is magic on?
89.
Alright, Sword of Siri. An action including clear speed. Are you going to try and hide it, or are you going to just do it out in the open?
I'm doing it out in the open.
Okay. So we're making an int check, which I actually have suggested changing it to a arcane check.
Alright, great success.
All right, fantastic. Oh, a great success. So that means the spell is extra potent, and your DDM check is made with advantage. So roll 2d20s.
Do you mean for DDM?
Yep.
It'd be 1d8, right? With a new style. It's based on your level. And there's like a different dice. It's on the next page.
Yep, it's 1d8.
So 2d8. Alright. I'll take the 7. Alright, I am casting Crush of the Warp.
All right. Why don't you tell us what that does and what it looks like?
So it paralyzes up to 1d4 humanoids. They do get a luck strength save. On a great success, it can affect other monsters that are not humanoids.
These are definitely humanoids.
Yeah, so let's go with 1d4. Only one.
A 1. What's it look like? It almost
like
seems
these
like
are-
it's like something wraps around them, like some sort of binding, since they're
Yeah.
using their strength.
Usually these sort of like, bright like purple tendrils like reach out from my hand and try to wrap around them.
All right, well, that sounds horrible. All right, so one of them. Which one? I mean, do you want to roll? What do you want to do?
With me, I'll choose this one, but I'm fine with rolling 2. That's actually fine. 1, 2. Like, you want to go? You do whatever you want, clockwise, or you can roll if you want.
Go ahead and roll 1, and we'll just start at the one to the north. 1, 2, 3, 4 in clockwise rotation.
3.
So that's the one fighting Johan, correct? No, that's the one that was grabbed red.
Carrying red. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, so he is now grappled. His strength is a 7, so it's a -1 for his luck, which is a 5. So he needs a 4. Oh, so close. All right, so the purple tendrils grab this dude. He drops red, which actually turns out pretty good. And he's now netted. So how long is he netted for?
It's 2d6 rounds. Let's
Oh,
find out.
jeez.
8 rounds.
8 rounds. All right, so I think everyone is going to take a morale check, because you've used magic, which is gonna, they're not gonna be prepared for that. So that is nasty. Morale really wasn't too much in Low Fantasy Gaming Deluxe, but it's definitely been a part that's been added. So that's page 67. Right before combat, morale. They will not fight to the death, will seek or flee or surrender. When the leader is killed, when intimidating sorcery is used against them. Did you guys win initiative or you lost initiative, right?
We lost it, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are going last. Will check determines whether their metal holds. So I think most of the guys are going to have a will check of 10. These sea vultures, they have a will of 8. Alright, so that dude is held no matter what, but we're going to make a will check for the rest of them. So I need an 8 or less. We'll start with the guy all the way to the north and go around. Oh, it looks like one of them made it. You guys think that should just be like a group check? It almost should be a group check, right?
I was trying to find it. Yeah, I couldn't.
I think that's going to be a group check.
67.
I might say. It seems kind of weird otherwise, but it's also very old school to maybe make it. All of them get it, right?
Yeah.
Most monsters will not fight to the death. He has an option to decide whether one or more monsters abandon the battlefield based on the situation, but in most instances a will check determines whether their metal holds. And the GM decides whether it applies to all monsters or only some. And if required, more checks are normally made at the end of the round. The GM may set, however, that a check is to be made immediately. When morale breaks, the battle ends, and surviving NPCs automatically flee the area if possible. PCs may be entitled to a free attack as enemies leave. With the GM's option, the party may make a group luck strength check to automatically slay their foes and or take prisoners. I don't know if I like that, but everyone gets one free attack except for red. Whoever they want to, as these guys run towards the deck and dive into the sea. So let's do that.
We're gonna run as like all but one are running. Is that?
No, I'm just gonna have them all run. Yeah, the one who's not running is held.
Got it. Okay.
So Norsel and Tega can attack that one. Vicente and Yannick, Norsel and Tega, but you only get one. So Norsel and Tega, did you attack the first one?
Norsel is controlling Yannick, or Stu is controlling Yannick.
Right. So I'm just
Yeah.
asking which one you're attacking.
We'll put a doing more so on this one and Yannick on that one.
All right.
And then Tega would be attacking this one.
Go ahead.
Nope. And then,
Oh, guess what? When you roll a 1, Nolabert, guess what happens in this game?
I don't know.
There's a counter attack. When you roll
It's
a
on
1.
Tega. That's on Tega.
So I think as that guy is rushing off, he stabs right before he goes. Oh, a natural 20, which means maximum damage.
Did you roll him?
Agreed to go with us tomorrow.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
So Tega is stabbed. Oh, we haven't rolled his hit points yet, though. He is a guard. A human guard is what he is at this point. So he has 1 hit dice. So roll a d8. We'll give him +1 regardless. So Robert, he's your henchman. So why don't you see if he survives this attack? What'd you get? What'd you get?
1 + 1.
Oh shit. All right.
He's been drinking a lot of rum, so his constitution's not all that great.
He gets stabbed and falls into the brink, or the brink, falls into the drink, I guess is what we're saying. And nobody else hit, right?
I didn't roll for Vicente yet.
And Stu, you can roll for Johan, who actually has a great axe.
Only a 9 for Vicente.
That's a miss. All right, so the rest of these guys flee. But alas, poor Tega, we barely knew ye. Let's roll. Tega was being controlled by you, right, Robert?
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you roll a d6? 1, 2, 3. He falls in. 4, 5, 6. He stays on the boat. That seemed like a harsh thing.
3.
All right, so he falls in. All right, aye. Splash. Tega falls into the water. Sculp, spine, stabbing into his eye. All right. What are you guys gonna do with this other guy here, Johnny Sculp? That's been held. Johnny Scuppins.
Cut him up and chum the water with him.
So, didn't you get a great success, Robert?
On
The general lore about Sculp?
I think both of us did, actually.
So
Didn't you also, Stu?
You guys know that in some areas, young Sculp are considered delicacies.
All right. So we got.
He's
dinner?
not a young Sculp, though. He's an adult Sculp. So he's dead.
All right.
Mr. Aso and Captain Aram come up. Damn it, Yannick! I thought you were on watch. Who was on watch? It was Tega. All right, damn it. It's disappointing. I hope there's not a whole brood living on this island.
Do we know anything about... Are they likely to attack again? In an evening?
Let me see here. I think you would know that. I would say that the Sculp are most likely shit. There is a spot here that says it. It's about 5 in the morning, by the way, I should say.
Stu, what was the spell you cast?
It is Crush of the Warp.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought it was. So the only way the dark and dangerous magic occurs is if you roll a 1 on that die?
Well, his DDM goes up to a 2 now.
Okay.
Yeah, so next spell attempt, it would be 1 or 2 on that die.
Up until when? When does that reset?
End of the adventure.
End of the adventure. Okay. Not session.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna ask the same question. Yeah.
Yeah, and Steve has been very vague on how that works, but it makes sense to me that it would be kind of adventure as opposed to session, because you never really know, right?
So like current goal kind of thing, maybe like we get through Island, but maybe not Iron Mine is sort of.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
okay.
thinking is just
Yeah.
Wraith Isle.
Sure.
And I don't even know if that is right because I'll have to think about it. I think that you guys know it's fairly uncommon for the sculp to be out and about at night. They're normally like hunters for like, they eat almost anything, but maybe like in shallow pools or something like that. Hey, AstroGamer026, thanks for following.
There's another comment on YouTube.
Enlighten us.
Oh, Stu's been talking to people.
Oh, yeah, Stu, why don't you tell us what's going on over there?
We had a couple drive-bys from Eric and James. Just, I don't know, general smack talking, really. Eric wanted to know when the special effects were starting, and James was expressing surprise that we're still alive.
Yeah, hey, it was a close one there. I think there was a couple opportunities that there could have been some character deaths there, but instead, just another NPC. All right, so I think what we will do is say... I think it was just getting to be dawn, perhaps, when that happened. Because when I rolled, it was almost dawn, 5 a.m., basically. And I don't know when dawn is. And we'll say that the fog from the night before has burned away as the sun comes up. There is a short Spartan funeral for Tega. And I think that's going to make it one more red after less than a minute. Regains his faculties from being poisoned. Yeah. So, but I think it's going to be less likely that Captain Eram is going to want someone to go unless someone really wants to, which I think that has now down to Red or Yannick, as Johan has already chosen not to go.
And how is the rest of the crew dealing with what they have just witnessed from Norsel?
That's a good question. So I wanted to do a will check for them. A 2, so they had a great success with Captain Eram. I think that you can see the fear in the eyes of everyone, but Captain Eram says, it makes sense, Norsel, why you would have left your Nadician homeland now, fleeing the Lucentum, eh? The Ordo Malefacto. He asks you.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'll nod to acknowledge it. Yeah, I don't know. It's late, so I'm failing for maybe something in character. But I think the premise of what I would try to share is that, you know, it can be used for all sorts of purposes and like kind of gesture towards Red, and that, you know, today it saved this man's life, and, you know, then I'll kind of put my hood up and kind of walk back to my chamber.
All right, and I think as he does, there's really no chamber unless that's the total chamber.
I
up
was
the
just going to
stairs.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
That's my little.
I think Captain Eram mutters to the rest of the crew. He says, "Well, there was a reason that Master Namfo hired him as a consultant, and now you lads know why. Yannick, get your ass over here with a mop. Clean up the blood." I think one of these guys, Leo, see what you can do about Red's wounds. Yannick is nursing a little arm. Hey, Astro Gamer 026. Yeah, we are playing Tales of Argosa, which is LFG second edition. All the players do have character sheets, but they're not official yet. We're just using the old LFG Deluxe character sheets and then adding whatever bits we need to from Tales of Argosa. I hope that answers your question. Are you asking to see a character sheet? I don't really know. Feel free to spout off as much as you'd like in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer. If I can't answer, if I'm busy babbling, then hopefully Stu will get in on that and stop yammering with Eric Swanson on the YouTube chat. All right, so yeah, so it's morning, right? It's, I think at this point, it's going to be pretty close to, it's about 6, 7 in the morning by now, and it's going to be low tide.
Does that reveal anything to us on the island that is of note?
So the island map that I showed you guys is probably low tide.
Okay.
I'm going to get those character sheets here for you in a second. Astro Gamer 026. So here it is, Wraith Isle. I'm still assuming you guys are kind of in the same spot.
What do you think? I mean, do you just want to pull up to the most obvious part and?
So this is
work our way
where.
up?
So it looks like at this point there's going to be kind of a cliff that you would have to traverse to get up to the. I don't know if that makes sense, but to make your way up to the stairs, because the landing site is actually up here, so it would be easier at high tide. Otherwise, you would have to be trying to make your way up a cliff face, because you can see how everything seems to be sharp. Unless you want to start going around, I think why don't you make a detection check? Oh yeah, I'm going to show these character sheets. I don't even know if it'll show the whole character sheet, actually. Looks like it's only showing the picture, doesn't it? Nope, you can't see any character sheets. What I could do to show a character sheet is shift. That's interesting. I thought I've shown character sheets before, but maybe not. So what do you guys... oh, yeah, did you make a detection check? Failed?
It was a failure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so no new information. So there's really nothing to see here. So I'm going to rejoin. Rejoin as... you guys can talk about what you want to do or what your thoughts are. I'm just going to try and show.
I was just curious about those bays. If there's any place to climb up there. Took our map away, so.
Yep, that's what you get, Bit. Yeah, which bay? The one that's right by the stairs?
Yeah, there's that one. There's some other little inlet bay a little bit further down from that too. That looks like it has. I mean, I don't. It's just the illustration, so I don't know what you would say is there, but it looks like there's like steps that might suggest different height levels.
Yeah, most of those are like cliffs. So I'm just showing you Vicente's character sheet right now. This is kind of what it looks like. So it's showing what his character capabilities are, all 7 statistics. These are the skills he has. You can use any skill. You just don't get the bonus. All right. So let's head back over to Wraith Isle. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of figure out what the plan of attack is, and then we'll shift. Oh, now I know what I did wrong. You can see the map now, right?
Yep.
You're very welcome, Astro Gamer 026. Are you asking maybe for Captain Eram to move around a little bit and check some stuff out around the island to get a closer look? Is that what you're saying?
When I was just asking from where we were, if we could see, like I said, I asked about
So this is a pretty
bay.
big land mass. So you guys are over here. All right, so you really wouldn't be able to see into that bay unless you kind of moved up or maybe took the rowboat over or something.
But what about
like
right
that.
here? So this looks like it's too steep.
Right now, it's very, very steep. What the heck? I'm very confused right now. There we go. Haha, that's better. All right, so I don't have this printed off. I know I'm a slacker. I believe that oh man, I'm confusing myself a lot here. All right, so I think, yeah, we're at low tide, so you can spot a cave here, it looks like. You see it?
Yep. What do you think, Norsel?
To reach
Yeah.
to actually try to traverse up the mountain up here without the stairs, using the stairs would be very difficult. It's going to be a difficult climb with the stairs. This right here looks like some kind of massive stone has been placed on the island. Like it's like 50 or 60 feet long and probably 30 or 40 feet wide and 40 feet high. Maybe even bigger than that, but it's very big.
Just a rough hewn stone.
It almost looks like it was purposely put there by some giant god's hand or something.
But it's not like a sculpture of any kind.
No, it just looks like a rough hewn stone. I also have... I don't know if you guys looked at this very close, but at the very summit of the mountaintop, there's an arch, and you can just barely make out some sort of structure within the arch. Can you kind of see that there?
Yeah.
Oh, and I did mean to say that last night, when I said there was a storm brewing, there was some lightning, and you can also see right here that there's some sort of man-made structure right there. See that?
Yep.
And it looked like lightning was striking the top of the island.
An ominous sign.
I mean, well, I guess we know where we're heading.
Do you think the cave is going to bring us up there, or it's something else altogether?
I'd say we'll at least check it out. Like, it's probably better than scaling a cliff, right?
Well, it seems like it's our only option right now. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that.
My only concern is the description of this stone. It looks pretty secure from where we are.
Yeah. It's massive.
Okay.
It's
As long
probably
as that
80,
doesn't,
80 or 90 feet long.
as long as that doesn't come tumbling our direction.
On that little picture, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you can kind of see the landing site that's up here, right here. But it looks like it would be a landing site that would only be useful at high tide.
Let's pull up and check out the cave, I guess.
Oh, I wonder if I have a... Oh, Jesus. Yeah. All right, so you guys want to hop into the boat, and that's the plan. You guys are gonna go there, like just right after breakfast or something.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right, so let's. Who are you going to take with you? Yannick is injured. Red is injured. I don't think that Captain Eram would force you to not take anyone. So what I think he's going to do, since he's the only one that's not injured, is Johan is going to be going with you guys. Okay?
Even though he said no?
Yeah, because the captain's ordering him to. He's the only one that's not injured. All right, so I think we have our crew for the rowboat. And we already know everything we need to know about Johan. He's got iron grit, but he's got a foul odor. What do you guys think this foul odor is from? Does he have bad, gastrointestinal issues, or is I don't know, does he always eat garlic, or what's the story there? Has anyone got any thoughts?
I think he just sweats profusely, and so his sweat clings on him and gives him kind of a foul foul odor to his clothes.
What the heck happened to your camera, Robert?
Now, it sometimes does that. Is it all fuzzy?
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. It's better. That's better. All right. Yeah, it was bad. All right. So we're on the group discussion. So now we know exactly what we're doing. Not next week, but the week after that, we'll return to the Tales of Argosa. Next week, maybe a vignette, Robert, right? Since Stu's going to be
Yeah.
gone.
Yep.
We'll see if anybody wants to jump in for a vignette or something. So what do we have any thoughts about Stu? You got any highs and lows?
Highs are like I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable navigating the playtest rules. I didn't feel like I was stumped or it took a while to like find a thing that I vaguely recalled, so I'm feeling a little bit better about that. I also like the momentum of like the latter half of the session. I think it's natural for, first actual session after character generation to have like a little bit of that slow period at the front to like establish, what are we doing? Who do we know?
Info
Where do we
dumps,
come
right?
from? Yeah, you got to do that. But I think it was good for getting us here, and I'm kind of intrigued by what we're gonna find here, so that's good. Lows. Yeah, I don't really know if anything specific's really coming to mind.
No. So kind of what you expected.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I think like maybe at a very high level, like the low could have been, it had a little bit of a slow start, but like I said, I think that's kind of expected, and that's just the nature of first sessions for doing that sort of discovery.
Dr. Drano says yay for no Stu next week. I think you must know
Yeah.
Dr. Drano. I don't know for sure.
So, someone with good taste, I guess.
Maybe. What about you, Robert? You got any highs and lows?
I'd say high as I like the scenario a lot, and I'm really so. I played LFG for a while with you. I have not really dug into the Midlands book a whole lot. I have it in a PDF, and I hate reading PDFs, but I've started reading more of it this time, and so I'm really digging the whole setting, and so that I really like a lot. So, and then how this is fitting into that. So playing another part of the world is cool. Learning a little bit more about it, all that stuff's really kind of fun. The sea vultures were really cool. I like the lore behind them too. I'd say the low is just we're just getting used to this, so it's just that's why it's a little slow. So
It does feel
new
slow,
system,
right?
new.
But I think like Stu said, it's going to pick up now because all
Yeah.
we're going to be doing is trying to figure out what this Wraith Isle is all about, right?
Right.
So it should be pretty interesting. I'm excited. I have to tell you guys that I spent way too much time probably on making all the little maps of the ship and all the tokens and all that. But then I did take this. So this adventure is by Randy M. You guys know who Randy M is?
I don't think so.
So Randy M is the one who did the other map for the Midlands, the one that's kind of like isometric. This one.
Okay.
And he's done a lot of other things as well. He was pretty popular during the G Plus days. I don't remember what his company is called, but he has some pretty awesome products. And I am a patron of Randy M. And this adventure, including the map and the sculpt, are from Randy M. I did convert the sculpt to Low Fantasy Gaming, and I will release that on my Patreon tonight or tomorrow. So I did a lot of work on trying to format that with Canva, actually, because I don't have InDesign. And so I spent way too much time messing around with that. For me, I'm really excited to see where this goes. Like I said, I kind of set up this adventure. I was going to take you straight to Brindenwald, which is from adventure framework by Steve Grodzicki. But then I also had these things, and I was like, you know what? This might be perfect with these little islands here. They will fit almost perfectly right along the edge of Lake Argosa. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just pretty excited. I'm kind of disappointed that Tega died already. I was almost like, man, maybe they should have something else. But, you know, we'll see, right? You never know what happens. So this adventure is pretty interesting. I like the premise for it, and I like how well it fits into the Brindenwald adventure as well. So I could really see this shifting from this to that. It just fits in really well, and it's a very human-centric and kind of low fantasy adventure anyway. So it kind of goes right along with everything else. And I'm going to write down that you guys had gotten like a great success for the lore. So I think that'll give you maybe a bonus or advantage to try and figure any other lore type things about the cult of Go in the future. Lowest for me is probably having to look stuff up, but I mean, we're doing a play test, so you kind of have to expect that, right? In that sort of thing, because it doesn't do us any good not to get it right if that's what we're trying to do. Does anyone have any rules things that they really do? You like the new initiative over the other one, having one person roll as opposed to everyone rolling, and then maybe being split up and down along the path, or no comments?
I like it, but the mixture of like a single person rolling initiative and also everyone tracking an individual initiative score, like between the average event and dex or whatever. Like it doesn't seem like it's prescriptive of like, do you rotate it amongst the group, or does the group just choose the highest person, or I feel like it on some level it almost takes away the significance depending on how it would be handled. Meaning like the significance of having a unique initiative score per player, depending on how the role would be handled. I don't feel super strongly about it. I think it's fine.
I think it says to switch it amongst the players.
Okay. All right. If it did, I missed it. But otherwise, I think I still like one person rolling and group initiative better than individual overall.
Yeah, I don't know if the added time that it took to always figure out, hey, did you have a great success? Which person had which? When I'm running this for like 5 or 6 people, that became kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it doesn't say. Oh, players take turns rolling for initiative in clockwise order until the combat ends or as the GM decides.
Okay.
So he does suggest shifting it around, which is pretty much exactly what we do for our OSE game, right, Robert?
Yeah.
Right.
Because
that's the comment then.
I think
right. It just then adds the attribute component to it rather than just a random die
D6.
roll.
Yeah, it actually allows you to at least have the attribute. Sometimes you're going to be better, and sometimes you're going to be worse, all depending on whose turn it is at the time. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I appreciate that it also gives you the opportunity to make fun of, whatever player has the lowest initiative score when it's their turn to roll. That's a nice thing to have.
Yeah, you always need, good reasons to make fun of people instead of bad reasons, right? I'm not sure that made any sense. But so I'm super excited about Tales of Argosa #2. We'll see what Steve thinks. Man, I still haven't gotten used to only rolling the D8 at first level to see if you're. So that basically means it's going to happen a lot for first level mages, right?
Yeah, presumably.
More often than it is when you get to be higher level. So the DDM is going to have more of an effect. And I don't know about. This is I guess one adventure module, and that you're obviously going to hit DDMs quite a bit depending on how often you roll. Yeah. What did you think about that, Robert? Did you think story-wise it was a little soon for the magic, or I mean, did you feel like you guys were in trouble, or what? We got any thoughts on that? And then we'll have Stu maybe give his thought process on it after.
I don't know. Tactically, it seemed to make a lot of sense. It seemed like we were in a tough spot there. So
So
I think
you would have went for it.
I think it makes sense story wise too, in the sense of his character seeing things being kind of desperate. He's gonna let loose.
And it might have been desperate because you weren't necessarily prepared. And maybe in the future it would make sense for whoever's on watch to have their armor on, right? Because it seems if you're on watch, especially at anchor next to an island, the chances of something untoward happening is a little higher than a big storm coming and throwing you off the ship like you are in the middle of the sea, right?
Right.
So I take it would have gotten hit anyway. It wouldn't have changed anything, but just an interesting story beat. So Stu, yeah, were you not concerned that the Captain Eron might have you lashed to the mast and burnt, or?
Like I knew like it was possible there would be, or it'd be contentious. I don't know. It just seemed fun to possibly lean into like the fear aspect. Like if it went there, like well, yeah, I don't know. Like hypothetically, he could have been like, you know, that's not okay on my ship. It's like, well, it's only your ship because I'm letting you maintain control of it. Uh, any number of things. I was actually happy with the way it turned out, though. Like I thought it was pretty low risk, given that we all work for the same, you know, same rich guy, and a little sprinkling of like trying to show some utility. I thought it worked out well, that it technically at least saved one person. So yeah, like I knew it was some risk, but I also just thought like it was inevitable. It was gonna happen at some point, and it just felt tactically like it made sense. And I was actually just kind of interested to see how it played out.
I'm fine with it either way. It's your dude, so I'm definitely gonna write it down because it would be interesting to see. I'm gonna probably make a reaction roll for all the NPCs and see individually how they feel about it, because who knows, maybe it'll come up again at Brindenwald or somewhere else, or like if you guys make enemies out of any of these guys, then it's possible that someone would want to, tell somebody or something, right? That's interesting
Yeah.
to me. Oh, and I should say again, the high was figuring out some of this information randomly on the tables that Steve has written for the NPCs. I really like those. It'll be a lot easier to maybe delve into them individually when I don't like role playing with myself. That's a little weird. So I don't really do that very often. But now that you're only going to have Johan with you as you adventure onto the island. And I should say that you guys also have like a tent, and you can take a few days rations with you as well, or if you already have rations on your thing. But those will be from the stores of the ship that you can take. And maybe if you had any other common items that you'd want to have that could be in the stores of the ship, we could do that as well at the beginning of next session.
Yeah. I also like the tables for the hireling generation. I do wonder, like, there is kind of an appeal to that incremental discovery, like rolling it in real time, but I almost wonder if, like, seating another table with, like, rolling all four at once, and then, like, seating another table with, like, was it the personality, the
trait?
Yeah, like, basically have, like, a shorter reference available of, like, I don't know, you roll up a bunch, you have them pre-populated, and then you roll some other dice to be like, oh, here are the four things you would want to roll for. It's this, and this. Versus, I don't know. Yeah, something like that would be.
You could definitely add that as a macro in Roll20 too. That you just hit the button and then it just does all the stuff and you don't roll it out. But
sure.
Yeah, that's probably my fault. I should probably have already done that, but.
That wasn't really my point. I guess I should just wrap back around to, I like the content of them, and I think they're fun as well. But that was just.
But yeah, maybe at the table it's not the time to do that because it does take some time.
Maybe.
I can see that. I definitely like the idea of having it macroed where you just hit a button and it tells you all the stuff. That would be pretty cool, and that would be something like Cody Mazza would do. He would already have that all seated in the Roll20. But that's not something I did. And anyone could do that with anything. You could do it with an Excel spreadsheet. You could do it with anything. Or like you say, just hit a button and get that information more quickly. So I think, aren't you a programmer, Stu? I mean, you should probably just make that. She'd probably be like the. She'd probably just be like the NPC hireling, Tales of Argosa, phone app or something. I don't know. All right.
Check out my GitHub next week.
Yeah, GitHub or HubGit or whatever those things are. All right, I think we'll wrap this up. Yeah, you got anything you want to pimp today, Robert?
Nope.
Stu?
No, thanks, man.
All right, I am Jason Hobbs. I am the host. This is Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood. Let's hit the music.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? Shout about thunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the 80% mortality rate works for you, for a few bucks a month you can sign up and have the Hobbs kill you. So let's make the most of another Sunday. Brew up some coffee and play it my way. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my gamers? Won't you be?